When you have kids, you automatically become a teacher, whether you like it or not. So that means you're either going to take them to school or you're going to get schooled. In this video, I show parents 3 money tips that they can use when it comes to teaching kids about money. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Maoli Vodi with financiallypresent.com, your one-stop shop for financial education and investment education. And in today's video, we are going to talk about 3 easy tips that parents can use when it comes to teaching their kids about money. I've taught kids that are aged from teenage all the way up to adults, several older than me, of course. And when it comes to little kids, I would say from ages 16 and under, it gets a little bit different with how you teach them about money. So it's really important that you tailor your lessons according to their age and make sure that things are appropriate for that stage in their life. Here are 3 tips. Number 1, start giving your kids allowance at the age of 3. All right, I know this is a big hot button topic for people because I know I didn't personally grow up with allowance, but it is very important. My kids are 4 and 6 years old, and we started giving them allowance at the age of 3, something as simple as $1 every Monday night. And what this does is it helps them understand that, hey, money is a conversation that we can regularly have. It's not something that's a one-off or when they need something only. Historically, money has always been that topic that adults have conversations about, and kids are left out of the conversation. Giving them a regular allowance allows the lines of communication to be open. The consistency is the key. So make sure that if you are going to give them an amount, do it on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be every week. It could be every other week. Just set a reminder in your phone and help the communication lines stay open when it comes to talking about money. And you really have to make sure that there's a clear demarcation, allowing kids to understand that mom and dad take care of our necessities, our everyday needs, and then money that's given to the kids for allowance is used more for enhancements or other things that they would want to play with or splurge with or enjoy. And let those lines dictate how the conversation continues. You have to run that household, and starting with this helps empower you. And it encourages your kids to have decision-making power when it comes to buying certain things. This leads me to tip number 2. Allow them to bring some of their allowance to the grocery store. I know, this one's not easy, but if you want to see how this has actually gone with me, check out my other video where I go shopping with my kids. I allow them occasionally, when I have time, to bring some of their own allowance to the grocery store. And of course, I try to help them bring a modest amount so that they don't go crazy because they're still learning. But this allows them to be empowered in their decision making. I don't have to say no all of the time. If there are cases where we go to the store and they don't have their allowance with them, I tell them maybe we can come back and then they can purchase this item. When kids are able to make these decisions, it gives them time to slow down from the I want this, I want that, and it helps shape their decision making because they now have a limited amount of money. They know they have to make a decision, and now it becomes more important what they do. So you have to be patient with them and understand that they are still working through those motions, just like you as an adult when you contemplate a purchase. For them, debating between candy or a toy can be just as hard as you deciding whether you want to go on vacation or buy a nice item for yourself. But the key is that they now have that decision-making power, and you can even use it to set specific goals. You can say, hey, mommy and daddy didn't include this in the budget, so next time when we come to the grocery store, you could buy this item with your money, or wait until you have enough in order for you to buy that toy that you just saw. Use this to your advantage, but if you give them allowance and allow them to use it, then now they become part of the process and you don't have to argue with them. I can tell you with full certainty, I have not had to have a tantrum or a fight with tantrums with my kids. I'm probably the one throwing the tantrum because of the shopping bill. And tip number 3, do not pay your children for chores. I know some people have protested this back and forth, or there's always some discussion related to this, but I think it's actually very important that you do not pay them to do chores because chores need to be a regular part of their life. okay? Because there will become a point where they realize $5 isn't enough to vacuum and clean the living room and sweep up and do all types of other chores. These are things that they're going to have to do anyways when they grow up. Whether it's, when they have a room of their own, a college dorm of their own, or apartment of their own, they need to know how to clean or do regular things, and they're not going to be paid for it when they do it for themselves. So you do not want to get into this chess match or argument of negotiating with them to do things that they need to do. What's going to happen too is they'll decide, hey, if $5 isn't enough to do the chore, or $10 or whatever you pay them, they just won't do it. So now you're in a position where you have to ask them and pay them. So it's best to leave money out of those type of deals when it comes to chores. Now I want to share with you a book that's helped me implement some of these ideas and these tips in my everyday life. But before I do that, I want you to take a moment, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel if you're new, and hit that notification button so that you don't miss out on future content. All right, so the book that I read years ago that's helped encourage me in some of these money lessons is called Make Your Child a Money Genius by Beth Kobliner. In this book, it doesn't get deep into investing or anything like that, but it teaches what I think is very important. It helps with understanding money, the behaviors that are associated with building wealth, and delayed gratification. That is the most important trait when it comes to managing money and building wealth over time. And it's really important to instill those traits in kids at a very young age. You can find that book on all types of resources, whether it's Amazon or bookstores or online. If this video was helpful, I want you to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the page, and share with a friend that has a child and may want to have a conversation about some of these tips. And until next time, stay present.